The mainstream media is peddling fake news again, this time about President Trump. Shocker. The mainstream media, in this case specifically MSNBC's Nicole Wallace, falsely accused President Trump of spreading a doctored video of Speaker Nancy Pelosi on his Twitter account. The only problem here, the mainstream media is lying. In fact, this is the video President Trump tweeted about Pelosi. Take a look.
We had a little took a little longer on the floor. The custody of the border. Everyone, he started sending signals. The U.S., Mexico, Canada. If that's not the accurate character, some people call it after NAFTA. Some call it NAFTA 2.0. Working together to make past that. Not. If we're the three things. We're very busy people.
As you can see, that's not a doctored video. It's a montage. And you liberals out there, you don't have to take my word for it. You don't even have to believe your own eyes. NBC said that the video Trump tweeted was not doctored. And still, MSNBC reported it was fake. There was another video floating around social media with doctored footage of Pelosi, but President Trump had nothing to do with that. The mainstream media were the ones spreading the fake news here. Just one Google search, or even viewing the video Trump tweeted for yourself, would show you the truth. But the mainstream media doesn't care, because the mainstream media is obsessed with fake news. This is what they do. They cherry pick something Trump says, or something he does, and then they pretend it's fake news. The mainstream media pretends to be aghast at any alleged lack of truth or accuracy. But since when does the mainstream media care about truth or accuracy? It was the mainstream media who believed Michael Avenatti when Mr. Creepy Porn Lawyer accused Justice Brett Kavanaugh of gang rape without any evidence. That was fake news, and the mainstream media gobbled it up. It was the mainstream media who peddled the narrative that the Covington Catholic high school kids harassed a Native American elder. It was the mainstream media who blamed all white men, even though the actual video showed the kids did not harass anybody. That was fake news, and the mainstream media played a huge role in propagating it. It was the mainstream media who invited Fire and Fury author Michael Wolff onto all of their shows and let him spew his garbage allegations about President Trump without calling out Wolff for the obvious lies and inaccuracies in his book. That was fake news, and the mainstream media loved it. It was the mainstream media who still claimed President Trump called neo-Nazis very fine people, when the video clearly shows President Trump specifically condemned neo-Nazis and white supremacists, and said there are fine people on both sides of the debate on Confederate statues, excluding neo-Nazis and white supremacists. That narrative is fake news, and the mainstream media still peddles it. It was the mainstream media who reported that President Trump called all immigrants animals, when the video, again, shows that President Trump called MS-13 gang members animals. That was fake news, but the mainstream media did not care. It was the mainstream media who peddled the Trump-Russia collusion narrative for 2 years without proof, and even when Robert Mueller's report completely exonerated Trump and said there was no collusion, no conspiracy between Trump and the Russians, it is the mainstream media to this day who keep broadcasting this fake news narrative. So when I say the mainstream media is obsessed with fake news, I'm not talking about debunking fake news. I'm not talking about correcting fake news. I'm not talking about condemning fake news. What I mean is the mainstream media is obsessed with peddling fake news as long as they think the fake news will hurt the president. And you can see this for yourself with the Nancy Pelosi video. It's not doctored. It's not fake news. It's a montage, and the mainstream media doesn't care about the truth. And that's my final point.